What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Pyrrhon, entitled What Passes for Survival. This is released on Willowtip Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Brooklyn, New York, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very avant-garde, technical, philosophical style of death metal. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was their second full-length album from 2014 entitled The Mother of Virtues. And listening to this album, it really blew me away because there were a lot of things that really won me over about it. The incredibly precise riff work, the diverse vocal stylings, the overall sense of originality and intelligence that a band like this brought. And because of that album, it led me on to further look into what this band had done previously with a multitude of EP and other full-length releases, like their 2011 debut, An Excellent Servant but a Terrible Master. Fever Kingdoms, a previous EP from 2009, I want to say. Just some really ahead of its time sounding stuff. I really appreciate what a band like this has been doing for death metal. And ever since the second album, this band has been very consistent and busy, not only with separate projects like Cepidus and Weeping Sores, different sort of metal projects involving some of the guys in Pyrrhon, but also releasing two very distinctive EPs since then, with Growth Without End and Running Out of Skin. Really smart and intelligent death metal, and I've always been looking forward to what this band was going to put out next, and now here we are with the third full-length entitled What Passes for Survival. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 45 minutes in length, and this album pretty much continues on in the same pathway as The Mother of Virtues. A little bit more on the daring and bold and risk sort of sides with this album this time around, and it's just something you really have to sit down and listen to. This is one of those immersive listening experiences once you put this on. It's very challenging and tough upon the first listen, but once you get more listens in of a record like this, it'll begin to settle in why Pyrrhon are one of the most necessary and important bands going in US death metal today. Just some seriously killer songwriting going on here. The guitar playing, the bass work, the very intricate and technical riffs that you hear throughout the majority of this album really sounds wonderful. I mean, upon the first couple of tracks like The Happy Victim's Creed and The Invisible Hand Holds a Whip, just some seriously killer riffs heard on those songs. Just the way the riffs are played, the way the guitar sounds, the way everything is executed, it sounds wonderful. Even to more elaborate tracks like Tennessee, where you get a little bit of a shift change in this band's sound. It really sounds tremendous, and the bass work on here is very good too, very crystal clear and audible amongst the guitar riffing that's going on here throughout this album. It's really awesome. Even to more bolder, riskier tracks like the closing track, Empty Tenement Spirit, which is the longest track on here at about 12 minutes. It's just really great stuff. I appreciate the musicianship and songwriting efforts of this album. The drumming on here, like previous Pyrrhon albums in the past, is something immense to behold. There is a lot of diversity and craziness going on here. Lot of fills, a lot of blast beats, a lot of well-timed double bass, a lot of crazy glitchy sounding parts, but it just adds to that element of surprise that this band has been well known for doing. Once again, going back to the closing track of this album, Empty Tenement Spirit, just some serious stamina going on this drummer's part. Very well established drum performance. Everything sounds wonderful. Everything feels natural and right in place, and it's just an amazing drum performance to behold. And when it comes to the vocals, I love the vocal variety and diversity going on here with this album. I loved it a lot on The Mother of Virtues, but here on What Passes for Survival, you get a lot more vocal diversity going around. You get these really angry shouted vocals, really rough sounding gutturals, more of a of a spoken, sung sort of ideal going on. I mean, going back to the track Tennessee, which is probably one of the best songs on this album, is just the way the vocals are displayed and sung and spoken about. It's just really awesome. And even the more intelligent usage of vocal glitching. This is something I noticed when I saw Pyrrhon live last year. There's this moment where he does the vocals, and then whatever he's doing, he's making his vocals sound very glitchy, distorted. It's almost as if it's being muted really fast, and then you hear his vocals again and again. I mean, if you listen to this album, you'll get what I'm talking about, but that vocal effect is something very, very strange, and I think it affects and suits this band very, very well here. But overall, it's a very, very incredible vocal performance this time around. So overall, I think Pyrrhon have delivered probably their best work yet. If you have been into this band's previous works, you're going to find something very special with What Passes for Survival. This is absolutely phenomenal stuff. I love the technicality, the originality, great songwriting, great vocal diversity, a lot of great stories and concepts to be delivered with an album like this. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say the Happy Victims Creed, Tennessee. The three-part track, The Unraveling, is very, very cool. 3 short little numbers, but I think they get their point across quite well. And of course the closing track, Empty Tenement Spirit. Very, very brilliant stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a link in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Pyrrhon Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available as a CD through Willowtip Records. I believe Throat Ruiner Records out of Europe is putting out the vinyl version. You can pick it up there or pick it up in the US through Deathwish Inc. And of course, this band will be continuously consistent in making music, playing live shows, and just putting their thumbprint on US death metal. So again, the album is What Passes for Survival by Pyrrhon. This is released on Willowtip Records. Go buy this shit. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Very much exceeded expectations here, and definitely one of the best death metal records of 2017 so far. So if you've happened to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Pyrrhon releases. Or any of you guys into Pyrrhon, let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to check out my channel, and until next time, Harvey Ho out.